Shalom from Jerusalem. This is Luden Centeno once again, and we're here in the outskirts of Jerusalem, where you can see the old city where Jews, Christians, and Muslims basically have the right to worship whom they want to worship. And I'm here to tell you my story once again, that we were Marrano Converso Jews, Anusim from Spain, who were forced to convert to Catholicism. Yet, if you go to the old city, the Muslims, they can practice Islam. The Christians can go to a Catholic church or evangelical churches, and they are free to worship whom they want. But many Converso Marrano Jews from Spain who has discovered their roots, that they were Anusim or Converso Jews from Spain, have been denied the right of return because they went to church. Yet, right behind me, the old city, you have Muslims who practice Islam and they have Israeli IDs. You have Christians who go to Catholic churches and evangelical churches. And you have Jews who basically practice Judaism. Yet, many Jews here in Israel, they are free to worship the God of Israel, as we understand. Yet, during the time of the Inquisition, during the 1300s, 1400s, and all up to the 1700s, many Converso Marrano Jews were actually persecuted by the Catholic Church. Our names are Centeno and Perez, and our names are registered in El Libro Verde de Aragon, where the Catholic inquisitors maintain records of those names of Jewish families that were forced to convert to Catholicism, and I happen to be one of those. My name is Centeno, which is basically registered in El Libro Verde de Aragon in Spain, and my mother's side is Perez, which is also registered in El Libro Verde de Aragon, where the Catholic inquisitors maintain records of those Jews that were forced to convert to Catholicism. In 2004, I discovered that we were Converso Marrano Anusim Jews from Spain, and I have done everything according to what my Rabbi Dr. Richard J. Margolis, had asked me to do. I have done a Brit Milah, I have done a Mikveh, I have done a Bet Din, and I have done everything accordingly. Yet, because we were forced to convert to Catholicism or practice Christianity, I have been denied the right to return here in Israel as a citizen. Yet, my wife is Jewish, our daughter is Jewish, and yet the father has no rights in the greatest democracy in the Middle East. Prime Minister Netanyahu, once again, the law of return must be amended. There must be changes made to the law of return, because you have in Israel many Russians who go to church, many Ethiopians who go to Messianic congregations, many Russians who eat pig, sell pig, and do other things, and they don't care nothing that has to do with Judaism. Yet, many Converso Marrano Jews, Anusim, who will discover that they are Jews forced to convert to Catholicism, they have been denied the right to come back to Israel as Jews forced to convert to Catholicism or to Christianity. My case is pending before the Israeli Supreme Court. The Israeli Supreme Court will hear our case in May 2012 by Justice Hanan Meltzer, who will be the presiding judge over our case. This is my story. It was published on Haaretz newspaper on Friday, and my story is well said and well read by Raphael Aran, who actually did the story. Prime Minister Netanyahu, once again, I don't have anything against the Russians or Ethiopians who go to Messianic churches or congregations, whatever you want to call them, but I have been denied the right to come to Israel and live as a Jew that was forced to convert to Catholicism. Many of my friends who are Sephardic Jews forced to convert to Catholicism with the name Perez, Ayala, Martinez, Ruiz, and so on. The list is tremendous. And many will discover that they are also Converso Marrano Anusim Jews forced to convert to Catholicism. And the Shas party, headed by Eli Yishai, will do anything and everything in their power not to let them come back under the law of return. Prime Minister Netanyahu, the law of return has to be amended. There has to be changes made to this law. I have been denied the right to work. I have been denied the right to provide for my family. My daughter's a Jew, my wife is a Jew, and yet the father has no rights in this country. In the greatest democracy in the Middle East, the Shas Party must make changes to the law of return. We are basically telling the world our story. We are converso Morano Anusim Jews forced to convert to Catholicism. Our names are registered in El Libro Verde de Aragon, where the Catholic inquisitors maintain records of those Jews that were forced to convert to Catholicism. Prime Minister Netanyahu, I am asking you once again, call me 052-635-7088. Shalom from Jerusalem.